And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Okay, so we are approaching, of course, nearly 24 hours, or just under 24 hours since we were been beat well by Atalanta in the quarter-final first leg of the Europa League. Look, I'm still absolutely reeling from the performance, genuinely, and I can imagine a lot of Liverpool fans up and down or around the world are currently feeling the same. I just felt that the Europa League was a chance for us to definitely get a trophy. I know you're not certain to win a trophy or slap bang on to win any trophy, and of course you have to show up, but I just felt that the route that we had to this and being the outlying favourite within the competition, I certainly felt that we wouldn't have our asses handed to us to a side, with no disrespect, they've struggled domestically so far this season. Now again, I'm not over it, I really am not over this result. It's going to take me a little while. Of course, if we get 3 points going up against Crystal Palace at this weekend, then yeah, potentially that goes a long way in trying to repair it. But I'm seriously frustrated, really frustrated with that performance. I just didn't think the individuals in that team were capable of putting in such a poor performance against any side, being at Anfield especially. And I just can't believe that we could potentially be going out to the Europa League. I thought that was one of the trophies that was bang on or nailed on for us to win. But having said that, guys, it is a perfect time to have a wake-up call. I'd probably rather the wake-up call to happen in the Europa League, but we've got to respond. Jurgen Klopp came out and stated that he promises that we will see a reaction going forward, and there's some other positives coming our way as well. You look at Alisson Becker's coming back, Trent Alexander-Arnold's coming back, Diego Jota's coming back, so players are returning, our better players are returning, and here's hoping, yeah, this is the kick up the arse this team need, and we can move forward into that clash against Crystal Palace on Sunday and get the job done. Now, whilst you may have noticed yesterday, actually, Anfield on a European night, and some would say, well, it's because of the Europa League, but I'm not buying that for a minute. But the Europa League, of course, atmosphere last night in particular was agile. There was no atmosphere at all from there. And of course, we spoke about the protest that was going to be taking place from the COP due to FSG putting the prices up with regards to the season tickets. Now, we spoke about this quite a lot. Of course, there has been a lot of supporter groups come out and said that this is a massive problem. And we were aware of this process, the protest that was going to be taking place last night. And it did make a huge effect. Of course, FSG were watching on, and, you know, a simple banner said no ticket prices. There was no real singing, there was no flags, and as I said, the atmosphere was absolutely rank rotten. And that's probably a successful protest if you want to make it like that. As I said, don't do it with not turning up, but of course showing what the supporters can do with regards to the atmosphere. And according to Paul Joyce now, that the people that have made this decision could be making a huge U-turn with regards to it, as Liverpool are set to hold peace talks with representatives from the supporters board in an attempt to repair fractured relations, which has resulted in protests about planned ticket price increases. So again, a protest has worked. Jurgen Klopp spoke about this recently as well, that he does support the supporters doing a protest, and, you know, the protest did indeed work. Liverpool were pumped 3-0, and it just goes to show that the 12-man wasn't really in play. And it's something that the people making the decisions to increase the ticket prices will have taken note of, because, well, it was all there for everyone to see how much of an impact it probably made. And I wouldn't just blame it on the protest, but it does look like, as I said, the Liverpool board are going to be making a U-turn with regards to it and are going to be holding peace talks. And as stated, that comes from Paul Joyce. So an interesting one there just to watch upon. Maybe this increase in season ticket prices could in fact go down, but yeah, that's what Paul Joyce has said literally moments ago. So an interesting one there indeed. Now, in other news, with Manchester City midfielder Rodri admitting he needs a rest during a relentless run-in, Pep Guardiola has claimed his side are in big trouble fitness-wide. I do not need a rest, were Rodri's words earlier in the week, with the Spaniard I do need a rest, were Rodri's words earlier in the week, with the Spaniard having played more football than all of his teammates this season. But with Manchester City in the throes for the title, battle with Liverpool and Arsenal, Guardiola can ill afford to omit his key players in any of the remaining fixtures. The manager has already begun the mind games with Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta, told reporters on Friday that his squad are in big trouble. If a player doesn't want to play, he's not going to play. It's simple. Another one is going to play, Guardiola said ahead of Manchester City's clash with Luton. If he's tired or feels exhausted, it can happen. Another player is going to play. Guardiola added, not just Rodri, I would love to have rested central defenders, but we don't have cover. So for international friendly games, injuries, so we were in big trouble, so we cannot rest. Phil Foden, who has a knock, John Stones, who has muscle, and now doubts for Manchester City ahead of the weekend, though rival supporters will be wary at this stage of taking Guardiola's words at face value. Kyle Walker, hamstring, Nathan Ake, calf, and there are other injuries, with Kevin De Bruyne expected to be back after missing the 3-3 draw of Real Madrid midweek through illness. That leaves few confirmed issues then, with Guardiola's comments seemingly referring more to risk of fatigue than absences. Still, the likelihood is that Manchester City will find a way to navigate their supposed alignments and batter Luton on Saturday. Manchester City are currently third, a point behind Arsenal and Liverpool, who are themselves separating only by a goal difference. Of course, Manchester City, well, Pep Guardiola is the master of that, but they are currently having some problems within their camp at this moment in time. I do think there is going to be a battle who's got the biggest squad and the best squad for this title going forward. And whilst we're not really performing on the park at this moment in time, I do actually think we're probably in the best state with our squad and players that have come back and all those kind of things. So we should be using that as an advantage. I just can't wait for this weekend to come around, Sunday to come around and try and get 3 points back on the board. I'm just so abject and so down at this moment in time, but we still have a really good chance to go on and win this league title. We just need to find a performance against Crystal Palace this weekend, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it actually does come. But Liverpool fans, with regards to news, not so much today. Of course, just off the back of that Europa League game, we will probably hear a bit more a bit later on with regards to team news, and we'll probably do a preview for the game against Crystal Palace this weekend, tomorrow. Just keep your eyes peeled out for that. But here's hoping, of course, the Reds do get back to winning ways. And I've got a question for you. Do you think we'll win the league title this year? Yes or no? And why? Down there in the comment section below, guys. Let me know. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Remember to check out our official clothing store. It's called copyclothing.com, where you can see or get all your Liverpool t-shirts. Really cool, different designs. Link is down in the description, or as stated at copyclothing.com. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Peace.